goals. So if you're wanting to start the new year on maybe a healthier path, our first guest is here to help you turn that into reality. We welcome back fitness trainer Craig Fitzpatrick. It's so nice to see you.
So good to see you too.
I'm trying to sit very still because my microphone is making that noise. So I'm going to gesture to you very gently like this, as if I've had a rough workout, because some of us have already hit it hard in the new year.
Okay,
You might need to take a break.
Right.
Let's talk about setting attainable goals, right?
Yes.
Because a lot of people, they do too much too soon.
Yes, and that's the biggest problem with, I think, the New Year's resolution is like, people come in and they're just like, I'm going to go to the gym every day for 2 hours.
Yes.
I'm going to lift like an Olympian, and then they end up getting exhausted and hurt. On the other side is they decide to go on some kind of extreme diet. So it's like, I'm just going to drink Diet Coke and eat pickles. And I'm just going to lose a lot of weight, right? And so then what ends up happening is when you go too extreme, especially like with diets, then you end up running to like the Golden Corral buffet and you eat 10 pounds of cinnamon rolls and a brisket the size of your head. Yeah. And then you're like, I don't know why I'm doing the Diet Coke and pickle diet, but I'm not losing weight.
I don't know how that could be. Yeah. So you have some simple, attainable things. What about something like keeping a food diary, but you've got to find a balance, right?
Absolutely. So I would say one of the great things with a food diary, whether it's you're just writing it down, or preferably if you're using an app, there's a free fitness app called MyFitnessPal where you can type in the word, or like whether it's a banana, whether it's Trader Joe's frozen broccoli, and it will give you the calories, it will give you the nutrition. And so what's good about that is a lot of times we don't realize certain foods are really calorically dense or really high in fat or sugars. So I suggest people trying to do that for at least 2 weeks. Okay. And it just kind of opens your eyes as to how much calories, fat, sugar, carbs, protein, or whatever it is in these things. So you can also start to see, well, if I'm having so much of, let's say whether it's a salad dressing or peanut butter, you might be able to trim just a small amount. And what I tell people to do is start with maybe trimming 200 calories or no more than 500 calories a day to start off with. Okay. And usually that can make a really big difference. 500 calories a day is roughly, it's 3,500 calories a week. Okay. And that's going to make a big difference. But the thing is think small little wins lead to huge victories. Yeah. If you try to go too big all at once, you're going to fail. You're going to walk away. It's going to be too miserable.
Well, it makes sense, too, to have something like a diary or a tracker app to help you, because it's about more than just the calories, too, right? You need to see what nutrients you're actually bringing in.
Yes, and I've had luck with some clients that by doing this, they've also seen, oh, I'm not getting enough iron. I'm not getting enough vitamin D. So sometimes you might be eating all healthy foods, but you're just not getting enough of what you need. Right. So it's always good just to kind of check in and get an idea of what you're consuming and what it's giving to you.
What about something that's more like a fitness tracker app, and how do you kind of find the right one? Because there's so many things out there.
Yeah, so there is, I believe with Apple products, there's something called the Chronometer, and even the MyFitnessPal, the one that I suggested, they do have if you do have like a fitness tracker, say like a Fitbit, the Pixel Watch, Apple Watch, that can a lot of times sync with that. Yeah. So if you have a goal weight, you can type that in, and it will also moderate by how many calories you have burned. Oh, okay. So one of the cool things about like a fitness tracker, say again like a Fitbit or something like that, is they have come such a long way. They used to be just glorified step counters. Right. And so now they have programs where if you're doing boot camp, if you're doing dance, if you're doing cycling, swimming, you can plug that into your Fitbit for when you're doing that, and it will kind of have a better idea of how many calories you're burning, and that will also reflect how you're doing diet-wise and food-wise.
Well, and it's nice, too, that just even counting the steps is a great baseline, because that's a good place to start in the new year for a lot of people who just aren't used to any kind of a routine.
Yes, and if you are reward-based, like I am, like the idea when my Fitbit says, congratulations, you've done 10,000 steps today, it's just like I'm on the Olympic podium, and I'm bowing, and they're giving me the medal, and I'm just like, so.
I'm winning at life.
Yeah.
Okay, that's amazing. Okay, we have to get more sleep.
Yes.
It's easier said than done, but we have to.
It is the cheapest and probably most effective way to improve your health. Okay. I can probably count on 3 fingers the amount of people I know that are getting more than 7 hours of sleep a day. And if you don't get enough sleep, there's a whole bunch of things it disrupts. One of the things is it disrupts our body to produce human growth hormone. And when people hear that, especially people that are trying to lose weight, it's like, well, I'm never going to sleep because I don't want to get big and muscular. But no one goes to sleep and then, you know, sleeps for 9 hours and then wakes up looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger in 1975, like, oh no, you know, I went to bed as a 40-year-old premenopausal woman and now my arms are, you know, 22 inches big. You know, it's like, that doesn't happen. But what happens?
That's a good movie plot, though. I think maybe we should pitch that somewhere.
Right. We're going to copyright that. That's ours. You can't steal it. But all human growth hormone that we naturally produce, it helps us keep or help develop the lean muscle that we want, and it also helps to burn the fat that we don't want.
Okay.
So it's not like you're jacking yourself up on horse steroids and you're going to have to shave your shoulders when you wake up after a full night of sleep. It's nothing like that.
Yeah.
But the other thing is it becomes a vicious circle because we have certain hormones in our body that make us feel full and make us feel hungry. And by getting less sleep, the hormones that keep us hungry increase and the appetite suppressing hormones become less. To say nothing of like also with your thyroid. Another thing, if you have an underactive thyroid, it gets much harder to lose weight. And it's much easier to gain weight. So it becomes this vicious circle that with less sleep, we are really predisposing ourselves to get heavier and not in the good ways, not like with muscle or something like that, but increased body fat. And just also the stress levels, you know, it increases cortisol, which can increase stress, especially later on in the day, feelings of anxiety and stress. So we want to avoid that.
Gotta make it a priority.
Yes.
It's tough. We're gonna make it happen though. Okay, and what about, I mean, another really simple one, getting those veggies in.
Greens, people, get your greens. You cannot get enough greens. And I always suggest people try to get like green leafy vegetables. And I don't care if you have to steam it, if you want to eat it raw, whatever. Yeah. Just get more of that in. And also if you can do that at the beginning of a meal, that will help you feel fuller. It's more fiber. If you don't like salads, like something like broccoli with hummus, but again, if you're going to use the floret as a tool to eat an entire tub of hummus, you're defeating the purpose. So like,
that's not
enjoy
the right
your
ratio.
hummus, but don't. Yes, exactly. It is not a spoon. Yes.
All right, we can do this.
Absolutely.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
We'll work on that script later.
Yes,
I think it's going to be a hit. All right, we'll be right back with more Afternoon Live right after this.